Competition. Hi,
Riley, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
It's nice to see you again.
You
I'm
too.
doing well. It's hard to believe that we're already at the end of the month.
Oh Lord, I know.
Do you have any good Halloween plans for tomorrow?
Just working.
Working? Yeah. I think I'm going to go back home to Cleveland. I'm still debating if I'm too old to dress up, but I think that I'm never too old for candy, so we'll see how that goes.
There you go.
But I know that you're very busy, and we have about 15 minutes to chat, so I wanted to go ahead and get started. So first of all, are you still the sole decision maker for your station?
I am.
Okay, very good. And I just want to ask you a couple questions just so you and I can do a little bit of catching up. First of all, I know that you and I spoke a lot about the different product lines that you and I implemented with the Folgers coffee, the ATM, what have you. How are those doing currently?
They're still struggling.
Still struggling a little bit.
I think the initial pitch was I'd make my investment back up in 5 months, and
Yeah.
I'm right around 50% of my investment. So
Okay,
being out $5,000's a lot of money.
Right.
I still haven't recovered.
definitely. And what do you think that you can attribute this kind of loss in sales to be to?
I think unrealistic expectations of the program.
Okay, so maybe high projections?
Yeah.
Possibly, okay. Any other factors that you think affected that?
That's all I can see.
Okay. And also, I want to know, how has your competition been like lately? Do you see yourself kind of leading the pack or maybe falling a little bit behind?
There was a new station built down the street that's taking some of my gas sales, but I still think I can compete with them. There's just another competitor in the area.
Okay. So not too bad with competition then. And then finally, my last question would be, what are your current goals for your station, let's say for maybe the next year or so?
Just make more money.
More money, all right. That's always a goal. So I'm very excited to talk to you today about a program that I really think can solve a lot of those issues that we just talked about. This is a program that I'm really excited about. At Marathon, we definitely do try our best to have our stations do well, and of course have our station owners do well also. So we like to seek out new and unique opportunities so that you guys can actually take advantage of some of the programs that we have. So with this, I want to talk to you about Blue Rhino. And I'm going to go ahead and let you hold on to one of these flyers for me. And so basically, I'm not sure how familiar you are with Blue Rhino, but Blue Rhino is a brand of the premier provider of propane called Feral Gas, their parent company. And basically, Feral Gas primarily produces propane. And propane can be used for many variety different reasons, such as recreational machines, even a clean source of heating, but mostly primarily you're going to use it for a gas grill. And with this, again, I'm not too sure how familiar you are with Blue Rhino, but I wanted to show you a lot of these really interesting figures about the brand. So it's actually propane's #1 brand. Blue Rhino outsells all other propane brands. And in addition to this, it's actually at the top of the mind of awareness for people that buy propane. So it's got a really strong brand awareness. And then on top of that, it's the most preferred brand, it's the quality leader, and it's actually dominating the market share of propane by 52%. So Blue Rhino is definitely a very strong brand to have. And so with this, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some forecasting, but this time I actually do have numbers to back these up. So this program is estimated to forecast about a 4% sales lift in in-store purchases, 2% in fuel sales, and drive traffic. And again, these are not just imaginary numbers. So today I actually brought in a summary of 25 station surveys that we had, because we've actually implemented this program in a couple stations in Toledo in the Northeast Ohio area. And so just to give you a rough overview, and I'm going to go ahead and let you take a hold of this as well. About 96% of them said that Blue Rhino was the best investment that they made in their store for the past 5 years. 88% say that they sell over 26 tanks a month, and 92% say that they received a return on investment in the first month of implementation. So again, these numbers are strong, but they're not too strong that they won't happen. So I want to go ahead and let you take a hold of that. And now I kind of want to switch gears a little bit and tell you exactly how this would actually work in your station. Is that something that you think you're interested in hearing more about?
Yeah.
Okay. So for your station, you're going to actually end up getting a Blue Rhino cage. And in this cage, you're going to have 18 tanks, and that's going to be your inventory. And for your inventory, you're going to get it by direct store delivery once a week. And this is actually completely up to you. It's by your demand. So if you think that you need maybe 5 tanks a week or maybe 10, you can make that decision. And again, this is going to be right outside of your store. So it's going to take up no store space inside of your store for your other things in your store. And on top of that, I'm not sure if you really looked at this, but the big blue rhino logo is actually right on top of the cage. So this could actually be used as a marketing tool. And I say that because there's a lot of times when people are paying with their cards at the pumps or maybe just driving by and have no intention on coming into the store. They could be looking for a propane tank, see that you have Blue Rhino, maybe you just ran out that morning, didn't think about it, and they come in your store. And that just exposes them to the different product lines that you already have, as well as the Blue Rhino. And so I want to talk to you a little bit on how this would actually play out if someone wanted to buy a tank. So with this program, you're going to be able to participate in the Drop, Swap, and Go program that Blue Rhino is typically known for. So for Drop, Stop, and Go, someone's going to have a propane tank. They're going to bring it in, and it's empty. They've ran out. They're actually going to be able to drop it right outside of that cage that we talked about, come inside of your store, talk to you or one of your clerks, and let you know that they want a new tank. They're going to be able to purchase that tank, come right back outside, and actually switch out the new tank with their old one. So this is really convenient for a variety of reasons. One reason being that the customer doesn't have to worry about disposing of the tank. Since it is a propane tank, it could be dangerous or hazardous. And then on top of that, it's going to be convenient for you. You don't have to worry about disposing of the tanks as well. When they come back for the store delivery to give you more tanks, they'll actually also pick up the old tanks, where they're actually going to be cleaned, refilled, and tested, and actually put back on the market. So it's eco-friendly as well.
So how's it going to work if I'm running the store by myself, which I do a lot?
Right.
If a customer's coming in and wants to swap out a tank, this is one of my concerns, or even getting a propane program, because how long is that going to take me? Will I be able to man the store by myself as well as do the swap?
Right, exactly. So with this, you're going to, of course, let them check out at your counter. So they're going to buy the propane tank before they actually come outside and swap it out. So they've already made the purchase and the transaction is done. All that you need to do is actually unlock the cage and let them switch out their tank. So I would estimate maybe that would take about maybe 10 seconds or so. So it's definitely doable because that transaction is done within the store. And then once they actually pick out their new propane tank, they'll be right out the door. So. And then with this, I also wanted to highlight a very important factor with this Drop, Stop, and Go program. You also are selling convenience. Again, people want to come in and they want to be able to do things as easy as possible. So definitely being able to swap out that propane tank is something that's very value added as an activity. So even though you may be outside of your store for a couple seconds, I think that is definitely something that's really great and people will want to keep coming back for it. And now I kind of want to move over to the buyer profile. And I'm not sure if you know this, but with you being in Findlay and being so close to the residential area and families, you're actually in the prime location to sell Blue Rhino propane. So I want you to go ahead and take a look at this buyer profile. So the typical buyer of propane is going to be most likely a male at 75%, aged between 30 and 59, so you're thinking middle age to younger middle age. They're going to be college educated, married, and with a pretty wide range of income between $35,000 and $100,000. And just to show you how strikingly similar this is to the Findlay area, I've actually also gotten a Findlay demographic from the Ohio Census Bureau. So out of 55,000 people that are roughly in the Findlay area, 26,000 of them are male. And over 68% of the households in Findlay are actually comprised of married couples and families. And in addition to that, the median household income is right smack dab in the middle of that buyer profile at $49,200. And in addition to that, nearly 60% of the population has some college to a graduate degree. I mean, does this sound pretty similar to a lot of the people that come into your store now?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you really look at those, they're almost like a mirror image of each other. You're right around the corner from the people that buy propane the most. And in addition to that, just a couple other factors of this buyer. This buyer has began to grill out and grill out more often. American market trends signify that America loves outdoor living. People are spending more time out on their patios, inviting friends and family over to come outside, and of course, cooking out. And in addition to this, this buyer is a consistent consumer and wants quality for his grill. As we spoke about before, Blue Rhino is the quality leader. So this person knows Blue Rhino, and they actually trust Blue Rhino, and they come back and again and again. And then also, this typical buyer actually buys propane when he runs out. And this could be right before he's about to cook. He could be in a rush. The average propane tank takes about 9.5 hours or so to burn out. And this is another factor when convenience comes in. With you being so close to that area, they're able to actually go to your store, get a propane tank, and be back to cooking 10 minutes later. This is something that they may not be able to have because with being so convenient to this residential area, they might have to travel even farther to get a new propane tank, and they may not want to wait that long. And so you figure if people come in and do that, burn out every 9.5 hours, they're coming back again and again, telling a buddy, telling a family member that this gas station does have the propane that we need. And so with all those things being said, do you think that this is something that your store could benefit from? Are you seeing a lot of connections being made?
Yeah, from a safety perspective,
Yeah.
what happens if a car runs into that cage of tanks?
Okay.
Are they going to be blown up at my property?
Right. So yeah, I definitely understand your concern with hazards here. And so what we're actually going to talk about in a couple minutes here is that you're actually going to get free on-site training with you and your employees, and they're going to teach you exactly how to make this safe. And with being in this cage this way, even if it does take on impact, the propane tanks are designed in a way that they do not puncture. So I think that Blue Rhino does a lot of steps to definitely make sure that safety is key, especially with that on-site training.
Okay.
So is this something that you think you want to hear more about, maybe see some other figures?
Yeah.
Okay,
Figures are key.
that's right. So with this program, I want to talk about all the awesome benefits that you would actually get from this program. And I do want to run some numbers for you. So with this program, you're actually going to get free equipment and installation. So again, these cages are going to be completely free to install, and they're going to do all the work for you. And in addition to this, the on-site training that we mentioned, and you're actually going to get $50 off your very first delivery. So I know that before the investment was quite large, but this time around, this is a very low risk investment.
What's the equipment consist of?
Right. So with the Stop, Drop, and Go program, like I told you about the exchange tanks, each exchange tank is going to cost you about $13.50 that you can turn around and pay for $21.99. And this gives you a nice healthy growth margin of 39%. And then in addition to this, you can actually get spare tanks that are going to cost you $41 that you can sell for $59.99. These are the tanks where a customer does not have an exchange to swap out, but they just want a new tank just for backup. And this is going to come in at a gross margin of 32%. So with this program, you're going to get one more benefit. Your whole first inventory is actually going to be for the exchange rate. And you're actually able to mix and match how many exchange tanks you want, how many spare tanks you want, and that way you can come up with your inventory. And so I did tell you I was going to crunch some numbers for you. So let's just say you only sold your initial investment of 18 tanks in your first month. And let's say that you did 14 exchange tanks and 4 spare tanks. So when you run the numbers, your revenue from both of those tanks will be $547.82. Then take off the investment, your profit will be $354.82.
So I made $354 my very first month with this program.
Right, which is almost a 164% return on investment. And again, you're definitely estimated to sell more than this, given that you're in the Findlay area. If you take a look at those surveys, I believe 86% said they sold between 24 and 27 tanks per month. And these people aren't even necessarily within reach of the buyer profile. So I definitely think that those numbers are definitely doable. And then in addition to this, you're actually going to get 24/7 customer care. Again, Blue Rhino does a lot to do after sale services and make sure that you're up to date and know exactly how to do everything. You're also going to get a welcome kit, which gives you all the tools that you need, manuals, that you really understand the program, and again, that safety feature. And so with all these things being said, do you think that this is something that you might be interested in, or did you have any questions or concerns for me today?
No, sounds
No questions?
like a quality investment.
Okay, and again, it's definitely a low risk investment. At $193, you can jump off this program. So I'm glad that you wanted to go ahead and jump on board.
Thank you.